So we're starting with a retrospective on Mirror Board of the last sprint. I'm going to share my screen and then everybody can join in that. To make it a little bit more exciting, I guess we can have like run the game in the background or something that whoever is not interested in what we're doing on the Mirror Board can actually watch the game unfold. Does anybody want to run the game in the background while we're talking? One of you guys?
I could do that.
Cool.
The current GitHub build or the
Oh, yeah,
demo?
sprint 43, I guess. Yeah.
All right. Takes a small moment.
Yep. Basically for Burger fan. Man.
Yeah, so Tony, how was your flight?
It actually wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was pretty
So-
quick.
So
I watched
for-
Oppenheimer, actually.
on the plane.
I did watch it on the plane. Yeah,
That's
I know.
That's not a plane movie.
That's what I found out. Well, that's the people behind me's problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. I mean, I definitely got what you said. Right. It was like way more exciting, like fast paced than it had any right to be.
It does get kind of talky towards the end.
Yeah. No, but I thought it was really good. I mean, I was like, I was so tired. I had to like start it a number of times because it was so long. I kept falling asleep through it, and I just had to keep going back. But yeah. Oh, also we watched Black Mirror, which was I think another recommendation.
All right.
Yeah, I guess
One thing.
until the point where they do the Trinity test, like afterwards, it kind of the suspense goes down a little bit. But up to that point, it's like very exhilarating, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, but Jordan was lucky she didn't want to watch it because she would have hated it.
Well, it's essentially people in a room talking, and there's music in the background.
It's a theater piece, yeah.
No.
Alrighty, good. Who wants to start? I can go first. Okay. So what made me glad? So first of all, refreshing doing Kanban also for a longer time period. Just having like this like mini product roadmap and have like all the talks around it. That was actually incredible because we got so much work done. And for myself, what also made me happy is I know what has to happen in terms of UI and UX to kind of get the gameplay or move the gameplay forward. Um, I because I think there are kind of some impediments um, on the road to demo, and I can see them now. I know what has to happen. At least from the point where we are at the moment, I can see what has to happen. Might be also, I mean, there might be coming up other stuff over time, but at the moment, I can see what has to happen in terms of UI and UX, and that actually is a big relief for me because I was wondering what is wrong with this game. Why is it so hard to play, even for me, you know? And but now we can fix it. Even Francisco is already working on that, and we can talk about this later. Um, yeah, then also a little bit frustrating is that we need a better debug menu in terms of and debugging tools in terms of mere mortals can use that, right? So for example, like we have these HBA debugging tools, but they are only visible in the scene, in Unity, etc., and so on. I think that should not be the way how it should be, right? So for example, like this agent log, yeah, I was missing that agent log while testing the branches, and I think it would have been so much easier to communicate what I think is going on with the agents and why they're not working, or why they're failing in doing their tasks, etc., and so on. If I would just see what they're up to, you know, over time. And yeah, we should build systems now with that in mind, going like, okay, um, some people who don't have a development environment, um, they also should kind of make conclusions and write stuff up and report on their observations. And we need these, right? Also, the debug menu, I think it will become bigger, because with terraforming, for example, everything which we have in terraforming at the moment would move into this, right? And we need a agent terraforming system, which we don't have at the moment. Yeah, already mentioned that. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff fixed. Also got the priority straight, focusing on the meat instead of the sauce. Uh, Even though it was hard for me because I wanted to see the game become more beautiful and more interesting to show. But if the underlying base is not working, the system's not working, then makes no sense to work on the sauce. HBA made a huge leap. I just compared um, the previous sprint with the one which we have now, and like in the last Witchcraft Wednesday, where we had like these pillars, and uh, the day before yesterday, Francisco and I, we made little mazes and had like the agents run through them like test reds, and that was actually fun already. You know, watching this, we could maybe do this today too, just to show off HBA, and I think Francisco also increased the time to live for the pathfinding.
Mhm.
Yeah, uh, because we ran into some problems with that too. And yeah, what made me a little bit sad, I would like to see more impact or immediate impact of art in the game. So, for example, what happens now is this, that Leon is making a lot of cool stuff like the heads, etc., and so on, and they just do not appear in the game immediately. I mean, it shouldn't be like from one day to another, but I mean, he's working on these for 3 weeks now, and they're still not in the game. And we don't know actually if what he's doing is compatible with what we have in the game. For example, like we stumbled upon yesterday or the day before yesterday, these issues with the offset problems for the assembler machines, and they that would be something which would show up as soon as we are putting them in, you know, and playing around with them more um, immediately, right? And yeah, I would like to see that more. Okay, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay.
So, yeah, on the positive side, I think we accomplished a lot. This was a very needed like period of time where we focused almost exclusively on fixes and quality of life. So we touched almost every system, and we just have improvements pretty much everywhere. So that's really the big positive here. Yeah, I do think some systems are not quite there yet. Things with agents' behaviors, mostly that actually. Yeah, I mean they improved a lot, but they're just not fully there yet, which kind of ties into a bit of my concern, which is that we didn't completely clear all of the fixes that we wanted. So we cannot fully move on to new things. We'll still have some of these things kind of tying us back into fixes, but overall, I do consider it very positive how much we accomplished. Pretty much the whole month of January where we did this. So just some concerns for the future where we go after this. Yeah,
Next.
who wanna go next?
Sure, I can go next. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess the first thing is, yeah, I'm back home. That's awesome. Oh, here, let me drink these a little bit. Yeah, it's great to be back. Although I am currently exhausted. These have nothing to do with the sprint, but just my current feelings, my moods. Yeah, I'm also kind of excited to be gone this this Kanban. It is so unorganized. It kind of stresses me out while we're working on it, but for the purposes of what we were doing, I think it was pretty good. Because yeah, we had a huge assortment of fixes and improvements. Yeah, like across the board. Yeah, which is really great. I mean, we touched like so many different things that are mostly completely unrelated. That we just need to. Yeah, I also liked that I finally finalized these visual things, or at least got them in. I don't actually think anything's really finalized. I would still really like to see, like some tweaks, some playing with it, so that we can like get down to like this is like the final look of the game. Yeah, but I think it's getting there, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Also, I liked that we got some real deep fixes. Yeah, like the HPA stuff. Like again, just drilling down, finding the problems, and just going and going, and finally, finding these things that are really causing the problems. Yeah, I also something else that we did was like this better voxel physics. I think that this is also like a pretty big thing, right? With like the new densities and like the physics debug stuff. Yeah, like the interaction of like explosions or damage or whatever. It should look better, and we should have like a lot better control over all of that. Yeah, also with the art stuff that Leon's been doing, right? Like the animations, the heads, all of it. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I probably should have split this off into two because I can't wait to get it in. Yeah, I think for almost all of it, there's like some small amount of work to do, and then we can like put them all in, right? Like it's just like this initial cost of saying like, okay, this is how like the head should work, and then we have to make the system, where like we pick a dynamic head and we have like the gender stuff and we parse it in, all that stuff. But then once we do that, we can like start sticking these in, and that'd be really cool. Yeah, and also about the agents. Yeah, so I talked about this before I left, and Francisco and I then talked again about like this logging, and it's it's super needed. Like without it, I think we've both been like working on separate agent things, and like looking at their current states, kind of seeing how they change, but without that history, yeah, like diagnosing issues is so tough, especially with like a large number of agents. Like when the problems come from, you have like 10 or 15 just sitting there, and one of them's doing something and another one does something else, and then like you don't have that whatsoever. Like from one frame to the next, you're just in a completely different state, and who knows like what has happened. Why somebody's not doing something, why somebody's doing something else, who knows. Yeah, so I think this is gonna be really important, for sure. And yeah.
All right. I can go next. I can't do the sticky note thing for streaming reasons, but maybe some of you can add the sticky notes, or I'll add them later. Um, I want to start off with to what Tito was saying about the art not being in the game. I agree in principle. It's always good to see the new stuff also in the new builds immediately. I do want to shout out the barbed wire fences though, which I discovered last night. It's just a small detail. It's so great because it gives your factory this compound feel really when once you encircle your factory with a barbed wire fence. That was amazing for me to discover. Um, I also like the improved destruction physics. So I think like the other week I was actually streaming the game to Tony and Francisco and Leon, and you were sick, I guess, and I was able to essentially destroy the whole compound, and that was not possible before. So that was really impressive because in previous builds, maybe like 5 explosions, and then there were like some issues. Um, that being said, in the latest build, I still have problems with burning down my factory. Fire almost always causes some type of problem. And I do want to say the build that's on
Steam.
on Steam now. Yeah, sorry, it's on Steam now. It's so the latest one is in my opinion not as stable as the one before. I don't know why. So I experienced more crashes on that one. I also like this new streaming format that we're doing right now. Um, even if it's just a handful of people, I think it's a great service for like day one fans to kind of get a glimpse into the. I mean, it's not really glamorous, but to get a glimpse into the nitty gritty of game development, and it's of course optional. So if they just want to experience that, and if they're excited about the game, to be able to actually like experience the development almost in real time on a weekly basis, it's a great idea, I guess. And yeah, finally, we also figured out. I mean, that's not very exciting, but we Tony and I figured out how to get Steam keys, how to get the builds on Steam. So right now we're in a good position to give the latest builds also to our community eventually, and send out game keys and demo keys once the game is in the right condition. So I'm excited about that. I think Leon, you're next.
Yeah, one moment. Gotta switch back to Miro. There we go. Yeah, I will be quite compact this retrospective. Let's start with the bad stuff as always. This is more self-critique than anything. I noticed that my motivation suffers a lot if I focus on one kind of work alone, that being these heads. And I need to make sure that I keep myself a more diverse workload for the future. As we are at the future, I'm very happy with the recent development of the game. Seeing all these builds pop up and these long-time issues being fixed gives a lot of motivation and excitement for future endeavors. I can't wait what features we will add in coming sprints, and I can't wait to make the art for them. And I would love to see this same kind of pace when it comes to advancement and fixes in future sprints. I agree that not everything was solved, but this whole sprint was so productive, and I'm honestly very excited to see that happening in future again.
Also,
Mm,
I think also because it
yeah.
was like 4 weeks long, right? So we saw a lot of stuff getting done in that 4 weeks.
Yeah, sure, but the
Yeah.
most problems we did fix,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
our
I remember.
developers fixed, pardon, they were there for longer than 4 weeks.
I agree. Also,
Yeah.
the product owner system worked quite good. We had like I think with every story we had like round trips for fixes, um, which would have been not fixed, right, if we wouldn't have somebody else watching over it and try different paths. I mean, there's no critique on developers, right? But this that what happened. I mean, you have like one task, you try to implement it, you test it, it works, you move on, right? Um, and it's like a path you tread down, and okay, well, this works, but only on these exact conditions, and then if somebody um, else is trying out the game, then yeah, it's different. Playing on Steam, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was gonna mention because that was like one of the last things that we did before I left. But Till mentioned it, and yeah, it's just very cool seeing it on Steam, launching it through Steam. Yeah,
Oh, true.
it's very cool.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, somebody have you seen that, Tony, with this one guy on Twitter reaching out to us?
I did. Yeah, yeah. I wanted to look at the at what like the color codes for the maps were, so I could send them to him.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm guessing that he's just like replacing the PNGs with his own maps, and then
Probably.
they launch. Yeah,
I mean, if somebody reaches out to them, I would be curious just to get their general feedback on what maybe how they feel about the game, and because if they played it extensively, I'd be curious what kind of improvements they have in mind. But I'm
Yeah.
sure they
they
have
love
some
it.
opinions.
Yeah. For people watching, what we're talking about is so we have one game which is called Dominion 2. It's like our first child. It's the first game we made. We haven't released it, but it's basically fully developed, right? It was like our test case to see if we are able to pull off making a game. It's a pretty simple one, basically. Um, and for reasons which have to do with government grants and how many games you have published as a game developer, etc., and so on, we haven't published it, right? So because we're getting government grants for making games, and you can only have so many games before you don't get government grants. So that's the reason why we haven't published this game. It's a silly reason, but there's a demo out, and which is basically the whole game. And so we have some Korean guys playing this game on our TikTok channel. You can see that. And then the game is called Dominion 2. And then some guy yesterday kind of reached out to us, and I think we released this demo 1.5 years ago or something, really long time ago.
Yeah,
Currently the demo's not up though. Just
No, the demo is not even up now. No,
oh,
it's
all
on
right.
Steam now. Yeah,
But
and
since we're participating with that game in this remote play festival on Steam, starting right after the next fest, we could think about setting the demo live again. I don't know.
yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I just done some updates. Remember to
Right.
because the railgun was broken.
yeah, yeah. The railgun was broken. Yeah,
Yeah.
that wasn't a demo. The railgun was in a demo.
It was in one of the updated ones, right? Because I think what was in the demo, I don't even know if we had the victory screen.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure we didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I just wanted to give so in yesterday, some guy reached out to us and going like, yeah, we're actually playing this demo a lot with our friends. And we came to the point now where we kind of reverse engineered how these maps work and kind of modded our own maps into it. And I just wanted to know if that is actually okay, or if there's some more information about the game if we're going to release it at any point, because they're so huge fans of it, which is lovely. I love that. It's amazing. It gave me actually a lot of confidence yesterday. Confidence. All right, good. So much so about this. On a high note, in the retrospective, we talked about that we got a lot of stuff done. Kanban was refreshing. Some people are happy that it's gone now. We're back to normal Scrum sprints. And it's nice to see the game on Steam already. And also with all these fixes, right? And yeah, I can't agree more. And now what we want to do is looking at our product roadmap, and also at the game economy, and see if we want to add something to that. One takeaway which I got from the retrospective, agent logging. I think that's something which we should work on.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and I am working on that. But
Mhm.
if you want to come up with like the UI piece of it in like the Pioneer modals or somewhere else, yeah, that's fine. Then we can kind of finalize it. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we do have a spot for it on the models already.
We do.
Mhm.
Yeah. Leon, I think you're
A tab for it.
Can you just open that agent model of Evelyn here on your stream?
Mm-hmm. One moment.
Yeah, and then there's events.
Yeah, there's a events tab, which I guess is not
Yeah.
appropriate
Yeah,
name.
it's
but-
empty. Oh, you can use that one, right?
Yeah,
That's actually where you should go. Yeah.
yeah. You can also use the button on the when you have them selected. So
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And while we're doing that, I mean, we could also have like, I mean, she always saying this is my new thought, right? I mean, we could maybe really start using this and
Yeah.
maybe have the stuff which she's working on going in there. I mean, as a first, not saying that we're not going to have her feelings, etc. In there, going like I'm exhausted or something, but just what you're doing, maybe translate as a sentence in there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. Good. Thank you, Leon.
Mhm.
Anything else? HPA. How do we feel about HPA? At this
Yeah, I mean, I still think that there's more stuff to do with it, but not specifically with building, but with like the pathing, with dynamic obstacles, with the linkers like doors. There's things like path patching, right? So like if along the way, their path becomes invalid, then they can either fix that like portion of it that's invalid, or they could like kind of redo their pathing. Which I think right now they just stop. I actually don't remember. We just looked at it, but I don't actually remember.
I think they just do a full path again.
Yeah, and yeah. So I still think that there's like improvements and optimizations, and then also like new features that can get put on top of it. Yeah, but the actual building seems to work fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we want doors and ladders in the near future, I guess we do have to continue on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, HPA. Anything else which comes to mind which we want to improve? Which system?
Oh, okay. So not not just HPA.
Yeah, not just. I mean, yeah. What else?
Sure. What do you think?
Yeah. Workspace
Well,
of mining and shopping.
yeah.
Yes. We still make the priority, right? We're not.
Yeah. Well, so we also have all these new systems here that we talked about. I don't really know where these things also kind of land. Yeah, and then also for like the Pioneer heads and the avatars, I guess they both go in at the same time. They both need just a little bit of stuff. The avatars maybe a little more than the other ones, because as of right now, like the avatar we load is not modular, right? It's just like it's like the man or woman, and that's it.
Mm.
You know, like it's
Yeah.
not swapping faces. Well, it does actually move the faces, right? So that isn't. But we're not like doing any modular stuff or like loading specifically based on a prospector.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that is definitely sauce.
Yep.
I
I mean, it
There's
could be a
not-
good mix now, right? It doesn't have to be the
yeah,
grind
yeah.
Kanban spin now.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, UX UI recipes. That's another thing. So for the recipes, it's pretty. That's what I was talking about. It's pretty hard at the moment
Mm.
for mere mortals, even for me playing the game, to understand what is needed to make what recipe, right? What machine makes what, needs ingredients, etc., and so on. And there's like two things which how we can overcome this. One would be we make these tooltips better. So actually writing down what a machine um, uh, has as a recipe. For example, like it says, well, there's a couple plates, there's
Mm-hmm.
pipes, etc., and so on. Um, and because just with the icons, I can't really make that out. It's really hard for me to understand it. And the second thing is, uh, like in Factorio, I mean, where you have like this kind of trickle down recipe system. So, for example, like you have
Mhm.
all the base ingredients in your pocket, and you want to make a factory, for example, right? And so you don't have to make all the pipes, etc., before you can make that factory. So it's kind of a quality of life improvement. So you just say, I want to have like this factory, and then all the precursor recipes which you need for that, they get built um, before in the queue, before you get to the machine. It's actually pretty brilliant. I want to have something similar. So also that the UI tells you um, basically, yes, you have every ingredient which is needed to make this machine. Um, at the moment, we show like uh, the basic the ingredients it has, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
can also make trickle down this to this basic ingredients. I mean, we don't have to show everything, etc., and so on. We just say, well, you have all the ingredients which are needed for the system, right? And also show the ones maybe which are missing. And then when you say, well, make me this machine, even though that you don't have like um, the ingredients which are um, uh, some more advanced, right? But if you have like these ingredients, it starts making them. They should make it way easier for the players to say, well, I just want to have like this miner now, and then if you have the basic ingredients in stock, the assemblers create these then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And that's,
uh-huh.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I want to do in this sprint, not implementing it in the game, but making
Mhm.
the mock-up for it. But
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. I also think that like even with that, the underlying issue is definitely that of communicating information. And so yeah, I think you were kind of talking about like nested tooltips. This must have been Monday or Tuesday, because I just saw the ticket. But yeah, which would help a lot, right? And yeah, to be able to like get more context, and I still really think that this like operations handbook that we talked about that has links to things, that's like a modal that opens, that then you can like follow down to different things, is also something that would be very helpful in this as well. Because like basically you have the context while you're looking at something, and then once you're away from it, it's like it's gone. You no longer, you have to go find your machines, and then who knows like what copper ores are. I have to go find copper ores and where these things can be made, and using tooltips alone, it is, I just don't think it's like going to ever be a satisfying experience.
Okay. Yeah, keep that in mind. One step after another, I guess. Yeah. Okay, what else do we want to? What is a precursor, a base for upcoming systems?
So-
What about the agent terraforming, for example? That's something which we could do, right? With agent terraforming, I mean, so at the moment, it's pretty sandboxy how you do terraforming, right? You can godlike just change the world to your liking. But in reality, I mean, this is not how it's going to happen. So you have to give out orders how the terraforming has to happen, and then people actually walking there and do the terraforming for you, right? So we need basically a system, a mock-up, how this is actually handled, right? We have something. We have something already in the game. I mean, if you do mining, I mean, you dig your nice little hole over time. It's basically the first one of these terraforming systems. I'm wondering if that has something, if it's related to world space selection story. This thing here, Tony, what do you think? It has some
The agent terraforming. Yeah, I mean maybe slightly, but like this. Sorry, I think I'm kind of far away. Like this terraforming preview. I know this is something we've talked about like a number of times, and this is going to be like a pretty complicated thing to solve. Like basically making like taking the terrain, carving out some piece of it, rendering that, and kind of still keeping the like the old render mesh with all the old voxel data. Yeah, and kind of what that actually looks like. Yeah, I think that's going to be like very complicated.
Also, and Leon, maybe you can show off terraforming while you're playing. As it is right now, I mean, this is also includes like having these giant hills of sand piling up. So I'm wondering how this would, be accomplished by humans to a certain extent.
hammer space.
Okay.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
as of right now, they can't even demolish or construct stuff that is up in the air unless there's like a staircase.
Well, that's how it is in reality as
Right.
well.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean that's maybe a dumb question, but how do people terraform in real life?
With a shovel.
Yeah. In terms of like constructing something like that, it'd be like you take dirt from somewhere else and move it somewhere else, and you're a terraformer.
That would probably include like heavy machinery, right? Like cranes and trucks and stuff.
Some biceps.
Yeah.
And
usually.
some sweat.
Okay. All right, we're going into much detail here already. I think it is not needed for the demo. I mean, at the moment we can just live with the terraforming as it is now. But I think really interesting is that it has some elements of this world space selection thing for the rest of the orders, and we should keep that in mind. But still, I mean, I can sit down and make this system on paper, and then we can talk about it. I mean, this could be part of the sprint for me. Okay.
Yeah, and I had the same feeling, because like because yeah, like I think even after this, we still have to focus in on the demo, and I know one thing that Till talked to me about that he would like to see is like some form of like the like even a light form of quests going in, and maybe you can talk about that a little bit, like what you're hoping to see in the next iteration.
Just some basic prompts that would give the demo some structure, like extract
Right.
some copper ores, and then there's a check mark.
Yeah.
That would be like
And
something, I guess, simple, but it could have like a huge impact in terms of the structure of the whole thing. And it would look even more like a game where you have to, there's a task and you can accomplish this and accomplish that task, and you get a sense of satisfaction of having accomplished it, just on a very basic level.
we could use the first tutorial quests. I don't know, from
Mm-hmm.
here to maybe here. And they're pretty easy to accomplish also. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The quest system. I like that idea. I mean, basically, we have the event system. We have the quests laid out here. Just some in the game to make this work. Yeah.
And what about combat? Is it something we wanna
Combat.
tackle in this sprint? Or begin
Combat.
to tackle, I should say.
RTS. Okay, let's go to the game economy. Yeah. It's really over here. So for everybody watching, what is this here? So there's a gameplay loop which we are making. This is where did we put it over here? I think. Which is basically mining, building, getting rewards, and so on. And when you're successful, you get a nuke. And how this gameplay loop actually comes to life is through what we call the game economy. And basically that's stuff like, okay, mining the lucrum on the planet, and then sending it off world is also dependent on the landing capabilities which you have on the planet. So you have to build landing spots for your spaceships. Um, then you have to get weapons and armor, etc., from the off-world company or make them yourself. And also the manpower you get off-world, right? You can't grow people on this planet. You just have to get them from the off-world company. So everything is kind of related to each other, which makes the economy. And so in the game are the stuff which is already green. So like this looks like really small, but it's actually a huge thing, so that you can produce stuff on this planet. That means every machine, every conveyor belt, etc., and so on. You can extract these ores, lucrum, including other ores, etc., and so on. And the other stuff, which is orange, is kind of included in the game. It's probably not completed. And what is kind of reddish purple here, it's not in the game, right? And so for having cohesive experience, we want to have these ones become green. Yeah, so that's also kind of dictating the roadmap which we're working on. And so Francisco asked, what about RTS, which is basically these two here. And yeah, well, I like the idea. We have like the combat kind of figure out how it should work. What are your 2 cents on that, Francisco? What do you think?
Yeah, in terms of planning, I think we are ready to tackle it. And kind of the reason I mentioned it is I think our idea in this previous sprints and the Kanban we did was to start to try to play the game and start to see where it fails. So now that we are kind of progressing more, like we can see Leon is playing like pretty much the entire stream, and it's at least relatively stable.
Yeah.
So we can probably start to just add the other things that we planned for the demo.
Tony, what do you think?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, yeah, and I also think it's like a, I don't know, just like an interesting thing to show off. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure for Till it'll be easier to, make content, have interesting things, without,
French
just
warfare.
like, right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's totally great. Yeah, and I also don't think it's like too complicated. Actually, the most complicated thing will be kind of taking like the weapon stuff that we have and changing it to be sort of the is like this sort of combat, because this will be like a rework for the thing, but it's also kind of nice, right, to do away with certain things like I don't know, ammo types, I suppose, for now, things like that.
Yep.
Or yeah, like clips, I suppose, like reloading, yeah, all those sorts of things.
Agreed. Okay, good. So what do we have? Just wrote down. Okay. For the sprint, possible stories, agent logging. I think this is logged in. We still have some. I mean, what about the fire problems? I wrote down fire problems. Is that how far are we with that? Is that fixed now? Does this, you feel comfortable?
Yeah, so today I actually did some more improvements to it from what we saw yesterday, and I think it's better overall. We still have, they are able to pretty much always deal with fires, but they just don't do it in a very elegant way. And as you mentioned, like the fact we don't have animations for it, they also look more, looks more chaotic. You don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
Yes. No.
I don't know. It's.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at this branch yet, but I tested all the other ones.
Okay.
So I can take a look at that tomorrow and see.
HPA, yeah. I think it's in a good spot now and can rest for now, I would say, right? Till we have other problems.
Yeah. I think it's really like until we want to start putting more stuff on top of it. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Good. Then world space selection we talked about, agent terraforming talked about, avatar heads, mini heads, and the update on the UX UI for recipes, and live form of quests and RTS. Yeah, I would say, and agent logging, sure. World space selection, I would say. Yeah, to get this neatly done. Same time, I'm working on agent terraforming and UX UI recipes. And then I would say getting these avatar heads and mini heads in, just for us, having fun and see them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have that in, I would say RTS, which is, by the way, synonym for me with blood and gore. That would be so cool. Agreed? But not for this sprint. I mean, RTS, it's not going to happen this sprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Put it on the potential.
On here. It's kind of the roadmap then already. And quests, yeah. Tutorial quests, basically. Okay. Good. Objections, Till?
Nope.
Then I think that's logged in. Let's look at our sprint.
Yeah.
So we have 3 days today, including today. 3 days this week, I mean, including today, and then
Yeah.
5 days next week.
And
Any-
I'll be off on.
you're off
uh,
on Friday, okay.
yeah. Oh.
And anybody else?
No.
No, I think I will be available.
Okay, let me check my calendar. What's this? Oh no. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. All right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to talk about the PO thing that we've got going on here, right? So
Yes.
for this sprint, I think basically we should have, go back to this PO per story
Yes.
and
Mhm.
forget about them per task. That
Was never per task,
Yep.
I think, right? I mean, we had
for
like
for yeah,
many stories.
yeah.
There was many stories. That was they were so
Uh,
cluttered.
yeah. Okay.
But I agree, completely agree. So this is Leon. He wants them in. He wants them in, right?
Yeah.
Agent logging. One of you
I guess
two,
that's.
or
I guess that's you, Tilo. He also
Yeah.
wants agent logging.
hold on. Okay, good. Well, and workspace selection. Yeah, I want to do that.
All right. Perfect.
All right, and agent terraforming plan. I do this. Who wants to be my PO?
I can do it.
All right. Awesome.
Okay. I think maybe also someone from development side.
Yeah.
Just to.
Yeah. So you guys don't make some kind of monster. Yeah.
Put a limit. On
The sphere of influence story all over again.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay, and
Yeah.
I think these RTS commit. These are planning
Is
stages.
it? Yeah.
Hmm.
And is UI UX also separate, or was
Oh.
that a part of this?
Terraforming planning. Okay. No, but this comes first, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna
All
do
right.
it first. Yeah. Okay. All right. Everybody's watching it.
You know what, Leon as well. Just for.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I stopped the stream of the other part for now, so I can focus on the sprint planning.
Sure. Do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think. Do we have questions here? Burger fan asks to give the demo structure tutorial could do just fine. It would be a good structure into the gameplay mechanics while still showing off the features. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Are there water physics, Hamiklar? There are. Yeah. Some buoyancy
Well,
at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is buoyancy, but it's like a one-way thing, right? So like if voxels fall into water, there's like physically accurate buoyancy forces, but it's not like the water is like a like a volumetric water. Yeah, we kind of talked about it, that it's like something that we wanted to try out at some point, but as of right now we just have like simple planar water, and that plane is what we use to, basically anything beneath it gets like, a buoyancy force, and that's how that works.
Good. New heads. Do we have the heads somewhere here? We can show off the heads.
Yeah, I think we had a recent screenshot.
Was it Discord?
Yeah.
I could also pick some screenshots from my
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
If you have a more recent one as well.
yeah. One moment.
All right. Good. Yeah. Good. What do we need here?
Well, so I think kind of the first thing is to make the voxel models for the prospectors to be modular, so that the heads are separated from the rest. And kind of the same thing for the detail view.
Right. Pioneer, detail, view being modular. Okay. What about the hair colors? Right. Hair colors are procedurally.
Well, I think the ones we have have a specific color, right? So maybe if we had the white version of them, or I should say a grayscale version of them, we could have procedural colors. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What about facial hairs? Do we have? I mean, there are some guys who have like beards, etc., and so on. So, are there just different parts in the face, or is that is the beard kind of extra? How does it work?
I think it would be smarter to have them separate as well, like the hair. And if all heads are the same size, that should be no problem.
Yeah. I mean, the chin is the part where, no, actually, the facial hair is more than the chin, right? The talking
Yeah,
part. Yeah.
I try to make these beards sort of poke out of the face so that we
Mm.
don't have to make 5 different expressions for every kind of beard there is.
Yeah.
Funny to ask, yesterday I began working on a new face with a beard. Try to move away from that as long as possible. Now I have no choice anymore. And I can show it off how I planned it in a moment. Until then, continue.
What else do we need for that? What about the uniforms? At the moment, I think in the current build we have like 4 different uniforms. Is that correct?
I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah. So each of the ones that Leon delivered had male and female versions. And then we have the originals, and yeah, they're also all not separated. So basically, what we need to do is like tear all the heads off of all of them, and then yeah, then replace the heads, I guess, with the procedurally like figured out modular head. Yeah.
Righty.
Yeah. So basically, I'm thinking, maybe it'll be for the second part. Yeah, but basically, we'll probably have to just parse in all these heads separately, and then make like sort of a database of, like face parts, facial hair pieces, and then just assign all those IDs to a pioneer.
Yeah, and for the hair and the facial hair here, so oh wait, okay, I see them. They're like delivered separately. Okay, because they will have different expressions. Yeah, so they need to be completely detached from the head like this. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And same from the facial hair.
And I mean, they're pretty static at the moment, right? They do not blink. And can we make them look around?
Hmm.
While not
We do
talking?
have them talking. They say, I mean, they kind of say what their thoughts, like the thing that's
Right.
in their bubble.
Okay.
Yeah. And if they look around, then as well, it probably would make sense to carve out their eyes, their eye sockets, so that again we don't have to make, like the same looking around animation. Like if you think about the Doom guy when he like does his little look around thing, you wouldn't want to recreate those eyeballs on every single face we have.
Right.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on like how much expression is going to go into it, right? And how much the actual faces move, like the structure of them.
What if we rotate the entire head instead of the eyes? Like just rotate for looking to the side for a second.
Nah. I mean, yeah, head rotation is also fine, I think. But no, they have to. I mean, the eyes have to move.
I feel like they would feel too robotic and misses the whole point of making them feel personal.
Yes.
Mm.
That moves around too.
Yeah, which I mean, maybe we can do it in like the shader. Like just offset the zero position, kind of like oscillate it back and forth. So that like the ray that's casting into it thinks that it's somewhere else. Like basically like what we do with the grass, but just with eyeballs. But then again, any more animation than that, and we've got to figure out something, something different.
Okay. Also important for eye movement, right? So eye movement is usually rapid. Yeah. So if you move your eyes, it's in a split second or something. Right? It's not like that bothered me with the old games, for example, a lot. That you have like these eyes going like, like this. That's not how eyes move. They go like tick tick tick. Something which you should keep in mind while having them move around. How do you would describe as eyes move around? Basically, yeah, okay. Talking, blink, and look around while not talking.
Yeah, and so also is all this stuff now what is entailing the new heads in the game? Like like this is mostly Avatar stuff, I guess. It's like the updated. It's like Avatar, 2.0. Not there's really an Avatar 1.0, but yeah.
And you have like the mini heads, right? Which is mini heads appear in the game. So yeah.
So just for your question, like this is for like when you click on them, you get like a view on the side, and we have like different heads. I don't know if they're here somewhere. Let me. Yeah.
Where are the mini heads?
Yeah. The mini heads are here.
Here.
Which and I don't know where the camera is actually. Yeah. So basically, like you have this mini version of them, which is like an 8-bit kind of view, and then you have like the super detailed one, and I say super detailed, it's like 32 by 32 instead, but it's got more detail.
Yeah. And they also have like the colors.
Yeah, exactly.
It's usually tinted in there.
Yeah, kind of my concern with this is I think some of the parts from the art side might take some time, so I'm just wondering if we can actually accomplish all of this. Like, because we cannot really tackle this from the beginning, since, for example, we don't have the eyes, or
Okay, then
the
let's take stuff off. Let's take stuff off. Okay. Oops. Oh.
well,
Yep.
I think we can like make maybe smaller tasks for each of them, and then we can just pick the ones
Yeah.
we can actually do now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Not carving out the eyes stuff.
so new. I mean,
Yeah, well, I probably would try that, right? Because like I could just take one head, do that, you know, super quick in Magic of Voxel, and then you know, try and throw something together. But before we go down the road of you know, carving them out of everything, like have a working one, and then you know, we can finally commit to we can commit to doing that.
Yeah. I mean, what about what is the problem having them these heads like multiple versions? I mean, they have like the blinking we have already. I know that, right? They're blinking while they talk. Why not having just another version where they look left, look right instead of going all this way?
It's yeah, it's because like every like any more frames we add to any of these things, we then have to replicate it like further and further down. And if there's like a simple solution, you know, or even like a slightly more complicated solution that is easier to work with, it's going to be the better solution.
Sure, but again, I mean, the blinking we already have in, so there's basically a system already in place for that, right?
Yes, we have. So we have like eyes open, eyes closed, right?
Eyes open, eyes closed. Yeah. So it swaps
Yeah.
out that anyway already, right? And then
Yeah.
just adding 2 more states into this is
okay.
you know, instead
So
of
just a position where the eyes are pointing to the side, and that's it. Just move to that one.
Yeah. When
Okay.
look to the side, look to the left, look to the right. You know. I think this is overkill. The other thing coming out. Who added a spoon here? This is ridiculous.
I still think depending on what it is, that will be better.
The carving out thing. Oh.
Yeah. Because if it's going to be more difficult for us to work with, for like to save on perceived technical difficulty, like it's going to be harder for Leon. It's going to be harder for us. It's going to be like a headache down the line.
Well, I'd rather Leon work on this instead of you guys. You know.
Yeah, that's
so.
Right, but then it still comes to us. So it comes to Leon first, and then it comes to us.
How so? I mean, we have the blinking already in place, right? It's just another position of the eyes, looking left, looking right. That's it.
Yeah.
Now you don't know what to say.
No. I still would like to give this a go before going down that.
Okay.
I love that you use the word headache. Never mind.
To figure out how much work this actually is, we also need to consider: do we need more heads, like bald heads, if we got all these new hairstyles in place?
Yeah. Also, the lack of diversity is frightening here, right? So if Disney going to have a game app store, is never going to be on it.
I don't mean skin color. I assume that will be some sort of variable, but general just head shapes or how low the eyes are, etc. And yeah, gotta see if we need more head styles for that after we slap some heads and hairs together to see if it works. And then we could focus on moving eyes and stuff to see how much
Sure.
work it actually is.
Yeah, word. Okay. That's why I'm slashing this away here. So head moves around too. We don't do that. Talking is already in there, right? But should work. We have to tear our heads off the bodies. Facial hair as a modular as well. Hair and colors are pretty tinted. Pioneer view being modular.
I mean, what's also in there are like emotions. So not only blinking, but I think we had like some emotional states like fear and
Yeah,
Mhm.
stuff. And I don't
Yeah,
know how
yeah.
that works with the eye movement.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
that's
right.
true because it doesn't have to do with like eyebrows as well. I think the eyebrows move. Or
Mm.
is it just the lower half?
Mm.
And just to understand it correctly, so why would a prospector or pioneer, if you click on the avatar and the pioneer model view pops up, why would he look left and right?
Fear,
Mm.
boredom.
Yeah, like
Yeah, 'cause-
I think it's just to give them more life, like
Yeah,
as if you are like seeing them in the real world,
right.
and they're just looking at something that they saw for a second or something.
Okay.
I think that's
But yeah, I get it. But isn't the purpose more like a profile view of that character? Like imagine you open up a character editor in a game where you can edit your own character. Usually it just looks straight. He doesn't go like this. I mean,
Heck
unless he's
no.
like paranoid, I guess.
They should
I
they
think
should express their feelings.
then
I mean, this.
we have the same feeling of old RPGs like Oblivion, where the character constantly looks into your eyes.
It's your
There was
soul.
like there was a study in psychology many years ago. If somebody looks into your eyes for more than 5 seconds without
Yeah,
it being demanded by other sources, they either either love you or they want to kill you.
I knew guys like that. Okay.
Well, it's also a sign of weakness if you don't look into the eyes of someone. If you like look away. Yeah, it's interesting. Um, yeah, and also if you approach like a shady guy on the street, um, don't look away all the time, but also don't look into his eyes all the
Don't
time.
stare.
So you have to acknowledge him, but then look away.
Mm.
This way he won't attack you. A fun fact.
Truth bomb. Truth bomb. There we have the YouTube short. Nice.
But yeah, I think eye movement is
how to survive the
only
streets of Berlin.
beneficial.
All right. Good. Okay. Let's leave this eye thing out for now. Okay. Just tear the heads off these bodies and put them on these avatars, and then yeah, have them talk, and then we're figure that out later. Okay. But we I think we overcomplicate here already.
Yep.
Why is this here? New mini heads in the game?
Well, I was
Mm,
gonna split them into different tasks, but if we are mostly, well, I guess like
You want to?
like we have something else for hair colors. For the
Oh, tasks.
pioneer.
You're making tasks. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, and it's really like it's not. Yeah, like it's hair colors, but it's like palette swapping. It's like voxel palette swapping.
Mm.
So if we do
How
this
do you
via
edit
palette
palette?
swapping, you would need a grayscale version, correct?
I suppose so. Like I don't know if it would be like that or like we just take the like basically have another palette that we would just one-to-one map out, you know. So like take the like Magica voxel colors. Yeah, but we also could do grayscale and then just do the same thing and just multiply it out, right?
Yeah, and that way, that way we could allow the user to actually pick the color exactly they want for
Mm-hmm.
the pioneers.
Sorry, just the one with the mullet should be MacGyver or something like that.
This one here?
Yeah.
It's Leon. That's Leon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's why I was saying MacGyver or the guy. What's the name? What's the name of this bounty hunter?
Oh,
Oh, dog.
Dog. Yeah.
Dog the bounty hunter.
No,
Oh my god, this guy.
this is a compliment, actually. I love that show.
If you see this other long haircut with the beard, I originally tried to make it look like me, just for fun of it, but I noticed I have to add these Geheimratsecken in German, and then I suddenly didn't want it anymore.
I think you're doing fine, Leon.
Also, I think it looks like you have to kind of swap the colors here, like this color for the hair and this color for the face here. This guy is this guy's burnt. Oh my god.
Fair enough, but it doesn't really fit the energy of him.
we need the glasses as well.
Yeah. Is there actually a photo with him without the glasses? I didn't pay attention.
That would be amazing if there would be like an interstellar spin-off of this, like the dark interstellar bounty hunter or something like that. He already looks. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Yeah. And this is the best you're getting.
Yeah.
He's still got his glasses.
I think he admitted at some point that he did math or something.
Really?
Yeah. And he kind of.
What? Who would have thought?
Yeah. I wouldn't believe that story. I wouldn't buy
it. Did math?
He looks like a player character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, I guess it's better than American History X, which would be more like my avatar. So no. So I would rather be Dog, the bounty hunter. Who else is there on the mirror board?
What do you mean?
Yeah, that's him. That's originally him.
Well, that's problematic, to say the least.
And this guy is you remember this one newscast where they had like this mugshot, and the mugshot they were showing actually looked exactly like the news.
Oh yeah.
There's a rapist search. This one.
Oh, what has this meeting derailed?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Good. Alright. Tasks. Anything else? New mini heads in the game, hair colors, palette swapping.
Yeah, also facial hair for the mini heads, should it be separated?
Should it?
I guess so, right?
But I think so. So I have this beard on, maybe not that one, but this one.
Okay.
Would it be possible to? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Do we run into these offset problems so that their hair is kind of, at the same position like the rest of their face? You know what I'm talking about? Like in the world.
Yeah,
so they're overlapping, and then then it kind of.
Z
fighting. Yeah. We shouldn't, and also for these specifically, I mean, all the hair pieces we can just scale them up slightly because they should always be rendered on top. Yeah, because I do think some of them, right? Like if you look down at you know, the guy next to Mr. Baldman here, he's got this like you know, gray geez, what's this called? He's got like a buzz, right? It's like stubble on his head. I'm totally blanking on the word, right? But this is painted onto his head, but that is a part of the hairpiece. And so we basically need to just ever so slightly scale out so that we can actually have things like this that fit right on the head.
Okay, so another big task is to remove the hair from existing heads to get them as separate hair models.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So C
Yeah,
index fighting. Right?
yeah, that's more of like a note
Yep.
No.
on somewhere. Yeah, yeah, and for the hair pieces, I mean, I hopefully like, yeah, unless there's too much overlap, you know, like the skin palette, you can just select all those and delete them.
Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't be a problem. I also will scale them up ever so slightly so that they sort of extrude out of the head.
Yeah, I think that if the hair pieces you have look good on the heads you have, and those are the heads we're going to use, then I wouldn't do anything with them. Just leave them exactly as they are, and then we'll scale them in Engine.
Ah, I see. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So okay.
What is this task here?
Just a
What-
general hint.
what does that mean?
Just a motivational quote.
Thanks.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right. I believe this is everything. I will add stuff later if there's something I notice, but I think that should be all, correct?
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
no, nothing. Just I guess so. We could tag the ones that are for Leon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
I think just these
oops.
two, or well, this one also. But have we decided this? If we're gonna do grayscaling or
yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, yeah, well, like I suppose it actually would be pretty easy, right? Because we could just do it in the shader as well. Like,
right, we can actually do it ourselves. Yeah.
yeah, like, yeah, basically like figure out the color from like the agent ID or agent seed or whatever it might be, and then pass it to our shader, and then just multiply it out by the hair albedo.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess this one we'll kind of see. It's not something for Leon. So, okay.
All right. Anything else for this story?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Should
we
we
said,
have very sorry for the interruption, but should we have a second product owner considering that I do a lot of the stuff here already? I mainly want to avoid that I'm my own product owner.
or
That's a
yeah,
that's
well,
a
it's
conflict of
about
interest.
it's about the stuff in the game. It's okay, Leon. You can handle that.
All right, okay.
Yeah. All right. Good. So we said the mini head's going to be in the game. We're gonna chop them up so that the hair and facial hair is separate. Same
Mhm.
goes for the avatar heads, and hair colors are procedurally tinted, palette swapping, and we have still some hairdos to do. And when we're putting these hairs on these avatars and on the uh, pioneers in the game, or the pawns in the game, then we might C index might fight over it, and yeah, I don't know how you do that, like in position them like in with 0.0001 or something, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, well, just scale it as like 1.0001.
Right. Okay. Good. Then yeah, right. You scale them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So also there is this talking thing here, but like basically what we're talking about. I actually think this is like an agent logging kind of thing because the talking more or less works. They just have nothing to say, and so I think the talking was like them spitting out
Yeah.
what they're
They're
doing.
Yeah,
feeling
Right?
it actually
feeling
uses
it.
the string of the bubble. So like how long they move their mouth depends on the length of the string, and I
Yeah.
think it also takes into consideration the number of words, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we could do this here, part of this agent logging thing, right? So I wrote some stuff down. Using events tab on Pioneer modal, we talked about this, showing on top the latest tab, so it's from top down actually, being the latest on top, and should be full sentences in what is happening. I think should be easy, right? And maybe there's a limit. I don't know, like 100 or something things to do. Timestamps,
Hmm.
timestamps, plus yeah,
Hmm.
timestamps, limit of 100.
For display reasons, right? For the interface.
Yeah, display.
Yeah, I
Yes.
actually,
Yeah,
I,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I actually would like to put some words into the mouth of the prospectors. So I would like to write some sentences.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Hmm.
Then I was wondering, we can talk about this interactive subjects and sentences, meaning, so for example, Leon is carrying wood to the stockpile. Yeah, so you can click on the wood and you would see that wood, kind of the camera moves you there, right? Or click on the stockpile, camera moves you there, and the stockpile is selected. Then, what do you think? Is that something which we can easily do?
I don't think easily, but I think it's definitely a good feature to have. Yeah. And I mean, in general, having interactable pieces of text, like with like hyperlinks that lets the user get information from somewhere else.
Yeah. Tony, what are your
Yeah, yeah. I think the same thing. Although, yeah,
is this exploding that story? Should we?
I mean that is like a very specific feature that is not like like just super simple. Um, but it is doable, sure.
We could use that maybe in the events as well. For the quests, for example.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
almost why I feel like this whole idea of having hyperlinks on text that you can click or highlight or something. I do feel like it's almost another story that later we could bring to here. But we do have to take into consideration that in the logs we need to know these entities. But we could also start it here. Yeah, this could be like a good motivation to work on it.
Yeah. Although also like I would kind of wonder like for the wood, like I would almost think that would be more like a tooltip
Yeah.
rather than seeing that. Whereas the stockpile would be a specific entity where they're bringing it to.
Righty. That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Stuff like this. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we could have both things, no? Like having the tooltip, but also clicking brings you to the item.
Yeah. If it's still active, I mean, if it's in the stockpile, it won't work, right?
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's that factor, and
Yeah, yeah. There's also something that we'll have to be careful about that I don't think about. Right, is like if entities in the history, are no longer existing.
Well, as zero, that's something which you can take care of, right? But yeah.
Yeah, and for the
Yeah.
items, we could actually like keep track of where they are.
Yeah.
Like when it's dropped or something, we for the items. I mean, I'm not sure exactly when they put it in a stockpile if they reuse the entity or not. But even if they don't, we could theoretically carry over. But like
Yeah,
have some system that tells any of the logs referring to this entity now refer to this entity. But
right. Yeah, yeah, because basically once it goes into like a storage, it loses like the entity, and it just is like a number on the thing, and that's actually the problem.
Oh, right.
That's the problem when that's the problem when we were talking about like this heat thing, right? Where like hot stuff comes out and goes in, then basically it gets put into a pile, and so it's not like you have like 240 that are like totally cold and then one that's hot. We kind of lose that information. Yeah, yeah, and it's also the same with like ammo. Yeah, and there's some ways that I was like trying to get around that
Ammo?
by like well it's not just like an example, right? Of like, let's say you shoot like half a clip and then put it into storage, then like somehow you need to have like more information on this one specific one, because it no longer can just be stacked with all the other ones. So that's the same situation here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, or for damaged goods or something like that. Yeah. Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so me and Tonya talked quite a bit about this already. Like there's like two purposes for this logging, right? It's for the user to see what's going on, but also for us to debug information.
Yeah.
And so, for example, for this where Leon is carrying wood to the stockpile, in the code there's actually a lot of different steps going on. There's he starts to look for something to be hauled, he finds the wood, he starts going there, he picks it up. And so we do, I think we do want to have all of those steps for us, but for the player we might we might only give them the more important information, which is this part.
Okay, maybe for now make it as verbose as possible. Right, and then we decide on what is something debuggy, and what is actually player information.
Okay.
Maybe if the debug mode is on or something, and this thing just changes its behavior. Okay, but for now, make it as verbose as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this limit of logs, I guess we also don't want it for now. Because 100 logs might, if we go to very high detail, I think we'll fill up. I don't know, 1,000, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's have like these interactive subject type link things. It's a neat idea. Let's put a pin in it. We do it sometimes else. Okay, doesn't have to be. We're overcomplicating here. Yeah. Okay. Anything else to agent logging?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Do we need a break? Anybody?
Well. Actually, I think we're very close. Just because actually this world space selection is already planned. Just so.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
made all the tasks here for.
Right. 2 should be highlighted, same as the blueprint world space selection circle. Should avoid floor and lay on top of terrain. Correct. Selected grid should be highlighted with bright orange. Can't remember this one, but that sounds. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, only show grid around mouse. Yes, like in the blueprint view, right?
Yeah.
Colors of selection corresponding to icon colors. Correct. Yeah, icon should be updated when item is moving. Yeah. This is because things lying around. The hauling thing was it.
Mm-hmm.
Denying an item should cancel all planned in action. Perfect.
Yeah, this one is kind of separated system, but at least for us working, we can.
Yeah.
It's something independent to work on.
Yeah. Moved it already. Yeah. Perfect. Good. Awesome. Anything to add to this one here? Let's fire it up for now in the game. Oh, Tony, you have to help me here. Just I pulled the branch. How do I get to the?
Oh yeah, just search. Just look up main menu, and then there should be a scene.
The main menu.
Yeah.
In game. No, where is it?
Yeah. So this is what we're doing. Yeah, you actually have to click on the root of scenes here.
The root of scenes.
Yeah. No. Just the scenes folder. Yeah. If you want something better, in that project thing, if you click the little 3 dots, the hamburger.
Got it. I got it already.
Yeah, but for the future, if you click the hamburger, go to one column. It is much better.
Yeah.
Sorry, where?
Down on project.
Yeah.
and then all the way to the right, there's the 3 dots.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then swap that to one column.
Oops! God damn it!
I had to listen to this too.
One column. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is like what a normal thing would actually look like.
Oh, I know. I remember this one. Yeah,
and the best thing is this is gonna be on the recorded stream, so you can always go back to. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, we can timestamp it for you.
Thanks. Okay. Orders. There are no trees around. Interesting. How so? There are trees over here. Okay. Yeah. I think the chopping. There it is. Okay. Then yeah, with the chopping icons, they are. I don't know where they are, but they are in the ground. Are they?
No, they're at the base of the tree.
The base of the tree. And where's the base of the tree?
The trunk.
Below the ground.
The trunk.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
useful for
If you use the
placement.
free cam,
Yeah.
then you can zoom in and see where it is.
Okay.
Oh well, this one.
It's a little hard to reach. Okay. And the icons here are missing for this one here.
Yeah, which that is already fixed. in Some
Oh.
other
Oh,
branch.
yeah.
Oh, by
Is
the way,
this the...
can we swap the can we remove these two, the clunky sounds?
Yeah, and actually, I went and looked, and there were only 2 of them that didn't have like a very high
Yeah, that's fine.
pitch kind of noise. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually make this here. Remove high pitched mining sounds.
Yeah.
We make this part of the story here. Okay. Cool thing is that we have like, oh, why is up? Why are these coming here now?
I think it has to do with like how they like they mine for a bit and then look for stuff to pick up if no one else is picking up their stuff.
And then in the meantime, somebody else comes for the mining then?
It must be
for
must
picking
be,
up
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Olivia's doing nothing now. Yeah, by the way, it would be nice to have like these icons which we have here in the orders. Also here. See that?
Yeah, but they don't really line up with those.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Like there's others like move, idle, and...
Mm.
So which branch is this one?
Sprint 43.
Yeah, so this one doesn't have like that mix fixes branch.
Okay.
It doesn't?
No. At least I don't think so.
Okay. Good. Anything else here? Was there another order which we
For world
I don't-
space, I think so.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alrighty. Back to Peter board. Good. Anything else?
Mm,
To world space selection?
Don't think so.
Okay.
yeah, I don't think so either.
Good. Okay. UI UX. So what you want here is basically a better understanding of ingredients of recipes. In workbenches and assemblers. We want to have sorting of the queue menu. And at the moment, it is nothing sorted, right? Sorting is kind of also separating machines from resources because they're all I think they're sorted alphabetically, but like in reverse or something at the moment. Yeah, we need this.
Yeah, well, and yeah, so do we want something similar to the construct menu where there's like the nested
Yeah,
like the nested display categories?
yeah. Actually, probably copying almost that. Yeah. So that you find your way around, basically. So if
Yeah.
you're familiar with the construct menu, you will find the same order in the queue menu. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, then yeah, also I don't know if yeah, okay. Yeah, and then just for items, I guess items as of right now don't have like actual display categories. It's just blueprints.
Items / resources. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Display categories for. Oops. Yeah, and we have to clean up a lot. There are items in there which are obsolete, actually, the current state. Oops. Okay. Written names of resources. Probably bigger icons. It's really hard to see. Yeah, it's just going to be a bigger tooltip. And then, yeah, we'll see. You say that might not be enough, Tony, but then I think we're taking it to the next step from there, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm not even saying that. I just in general feel like that is like a necessary feature. Just in general.
Yeah. And a trickle down recipe system. Francisco, you have already. Yep, thank you. Queuing furnace will also queue required items. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, is that 2 stories? Should we split that, Francisco? What do you think?
Well, this is a. I mean, they're not really related, so I don't know if could group them. I mean, okay, both of them make sense to be part of like UI UX improvements, but they're very distinct.
Yeah, but this is also like just your mock-up story.
True. Okay. I think that's enough for now. Improvements / mockups. Digital planning. Yeah. So, UX mockups for terraforming wire agents. Anything which we have to consider here is that in general, because if I'm going too far, yeah, or you have to, I mean, can we have a preliminary or temporary terraforming as a visual in the game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's always going to be the big obstacle we have to deal with here. Like having kind of like having 2 terrains, unless we can come up with something.
So is it a
Mhm.
yes or is it a no?
And so are you asking if we can do it without agents and just with normal?
Oh, no. So the question is, um, so at the moment I can terraform sandboxy
Yeah,
style,
sure.
everything how I like. Um, is there a way that we have like a second world where I can do that, but it's actually basically just an order, and uh, kind of swap between this world which I want to have, and a world um, which um, which is reality basically, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh.
Thank you.
Is that too much to ask?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I'm
I'm
sorry.
thinking
Go
like
ahead, Francisco.
the main, like, coming to it, like almost the only thing different between the worlds will be the terrain height, right? So
Yes.
so
Yeah.
perhaps it's not too terrible. Um,
Yeah. Well, I think that if we had. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. I think it'll be one of those things that we'll just have to like test out. But kind of knowing that it is going to be like like an undertaking, right? Because Francisco's right, like in the end, since we don't have like 3D terrain, it's just a height map. We still do have voxels, um in a 3D sense because we have
Sure.
resource under the ground and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So it's not that simple, but we could basically keep track of like the target terrain heights and then
mm,
do something in the terrain rendering where we basically have another map that we read out of. um or even have that. No, it probably would have to be uh like while we're rendering it, because it can't be like a post effect, I don't think.
mm. Yeah, I feel like we need like a duplicate terrain heights, and in many systems we have to use one or another depending on the display mode we are on.
Yeah.
And even
I will
that, I don't know.
I will say though, if the eyes were too complicated, this this is much worse than that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Maybe I can make a proposition for two systems. I think one system would be, I mean, you just have like building blocks kind of thing, where you put them in the world and then your minions do the terraforming based on these. Um, yeah.
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 Yeah, I do think that there's a version of it, that probably will make sense. Yeah, I just think that we'll have to kind of go off, come up with some ideas, and then test out one version or two versions of them.
Yep. Oh dear. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm And two would be building blocks.
I mean, this is actually an interesting premise for a game where you build a factory on a planet that has like 2 dimensions. Now that you're talking about it.
Like in Zelda.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like maybe like a time dimension or something like that. That's really interesting. We have to take a mental note.
The upside down.
Right? Yeah, I was yeah. The Stranger Things thing. Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean, those are like the all-time great levels, right? Like the Dishonored one, the Titanfall 2 level.
Yeah. Link to the Past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good.
I mean, so for
I have
example,
absolutely no idea.
yeah, I mean, these are like games where there's like a season or a different time period that you can
Travel
you
to.
can swap between different time periods, and then just on a basic level, there's like a tree there, but in the future or in the past, the tree's gone, so you can now
It's a
move
dead
past
tree
this
then.
tree,
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
like that. So I guess in our case, there would be
Ah,
some resource or some maybe like a huge mountain where you cannot get a conveyor belt through or something like that. But then you swap into the upside world, and then you can. I mean, this is just me talking. So this is an interesting concept.
Yeah. Put it into the game idea
Yeah.
channel. Yeah. I remember this. I think I was too young back then with Zelda to understand that concept. It's
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ocarina
this.
of Time as well.
I
Yeah, well,
mean, people love it, but
yeah, yeah.
people love it, but I remember it also being annoying to a certain extent.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love Zelda. Alrighty, cool. Okay, so I think then it boils down to having like two options, which I'm going to present, like the upside down version and one which is a kind of a blueprint version where you have like building blocks, um, which appear as blueprints in the world, and then yeah, basically they dig holes and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then just a mental note: dirt coming from and going to hyperspace, right?
Hmm. Yeah, well, and for the second option, yeah, there are basically two states, which is like raising and lowering
Mm.
that would have to be shown.
Right.
Yeah, and how do you display lowering with building blocks?
Very well.
Sorry?
Yeah. How? Yeah. So
Ah,
uh, basically, it's just it looks like you're putting something, uh, on top of the terrain, and it looks like a blueprint. And then from as your minions are working on it, it get kind of filled up, and then you have like a block of dirt
mm.
there, or a pile of dirt. In the end, it's going to uh, be a little bit piley, of course.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, I think it's kind of like the same problem we have when you place buildings high or low. You cannot really tell exactly what level they are, but that's just a
Mhm.
common issue we have. So it's not really related to this.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe by the way, while touching this, I can maybe look also at blueprint um, heights
Hmm.
placement because
Yeah,
I sometimes I place these things up in the air
Hmm.
and yeah, it's still an issue, still an issue for me.
yeah. It's also an issue with
Yeah.
the when you hold shift to move faster, right?
Yeah,
It also does that that
yeah.
thing. So
I think
maybe we should prevent
I
that.
have.
But
Yeah, I think I have a solution for that. I just want to talk about this for a second. Do we have a box or something? Here, that's perfect. Just copying this here for a second. Oh, that's even better. Because I think it's a pretty easy fix. So, for example, like we have like uh, this machine here. Taking pillars here, and basically whole machine here. Yeah, Okay, cool. So, so we're placing this machine here on the grid, yeah, and so you would say this thing is flying at the moment, is it? It's flying, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but yes,
You think it's hard to tell? Okay. Well,
somewhat
okay.
because the grid is not always active. It's
The
only
grid
when
is
you're placing.
yeah. Not grouping it. Yeah. So,
Mm.
so this thing is kind of levitating, yeah, and it's hard to tell. Okay. What about if we're going to have something which tells you that this thing is up in the air by having some lines or sides or something. So like this
Mm.
one. No, blue.
Yeah, and I try to remember how Roller Coaster Tycoon does that.
Yeah, they have it's a little bit different with this tile-based system with them now. So something like this, so that you kind of get like these lines here, you know,
Mm.
here, which tell you, well, this thing is up in the air, you know, and then main problem is, of course, not the lines when it's up in the air. Mostly, it's the problem when you are um, hold on, yeah, this is moving. Okay, if you're below something like this, right? This one is not part of this one. Okay. It's killing me. Sorry. Getting there sooner or later. No. Okay, basically,
We get the idea, I guess.
you get the idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if this thing is in the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then these things here, whoops, they could appear. I don't know, like red.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so this would be like for every conveyor, every building, every floor, every wall.
As a blueprint when you try to build it, yes.
Oh, yeah, only when you place it.
Yeah,
I
only when you
think.
place it.
Okay.
This
Okay,
thing
so
is
this
going
is
to.
only for blueprints.
Yeah. Only when you try to place it. When you place them, you won't see them anymore, right? It's all done. It's just like these having these lines, trying to tell
Mm.
Yeah.
you how far you away from the terrain, right? Maybe we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Maybe. Yeah.
I was gonna pose another scenario, which is if you have something already floating in the air and you want to place something else right next to it. Yeah, could still be a bit hard to know if you're like exactly to the side of it. Could we
Right.
also display the level as a number
We could do that. Yeah.
for the one you're building and also for everything else, maybe? When you are in building mode.
Mhm. Well, we show kind of the number on the bottom of the screen, the height where you are. Um, but I think it's just the height level. It's not showing you how high you are from the terrain, the basic terrain. That's something which we could do, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of the sea level, the one on the bottom, right? But maybe you want to have something like the ground level, right? So you're like when it tells you you're like tens. We could also use that to show if there's terraforming involved or not. You know, so if it's a green number, then there's no terraforming needed, or it's not levitating or something. Interesting. I'll play around with that idea. Good one. Yeah. Okay. Good. Is that a sprint which we can achieve in 1.5 weeks?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I do have some stuff still to bring from the previous sprint, which is in pull requests.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think that we would get through. Yeah, whatever's here. The new heads. Yeah, the logging, because that's already something I'm working on here. This is like fleshing it out a little more. And then yeah, I don't think we'd finish this world space selection.
All right. Okay. And let's make this a.
Yeah, I guess put it on there.
Yeah. Okay. And we can keep these one here for as a reminder for the priority what we want to work on next. Oh, we lost something. Good. Agent logging. Do we have any tasks for agent logging? You want to do this now in the part 2?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's really. Yeah, I think it's like a pretty small amount of things. Actually, I think it's like the talking. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like the best way to split it up, if it even
Yeah,
really makes sense to split it up. Yeah, because it's like it's like the implementation and then putting the logs all the places they need to be, and then basically just when you click on it, have them grab the first log instance and then just spit it out. Yeah, although I guess they would say something different, right? Right, because they'd say like I am carrying, something to somewhere.
Oh yeah, when they're talking, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and so I don't know if that's the way that they're gonna be used.
Yeah, you can have this also in the. I mean, in the display in the log, it can also say I am, and then I mean out of context, it's clear who's meant.
Also, those logs are gonna be written like as if it's the present, but when they become older, do we care about the?
No, I mean they have a timestamp on it, so they can always be in the
But
present.
what time should we use? Should we say was?
No, it's
Yeah.
always in the present because it has
Okay.
a timestamp on it.
Okay, sure. Sure.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
I see that Goose in the chat. Maybe he has a question. Otherwise, I would also say we wrap it up.
Oh. You just woke up. You're Russian, right? So, what time is it at your place? What is this? Legacy of Kain world transition?
Yeah, I think it's like a similar mechanic to what we were discussing.
Right. Oh yeah, I see. Good. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't really have anything else. Yes, unless.
Awesome. Good.
No.
Then I would say we wrap this up here as a sprint planning, and then have everybody work on their tasks, and then from they retake it, and then see you again each other tomorrow at 10.
All right.
Berlin time.
All right. See you.
All right, cool. Till then,
Perfect.
bye-bye.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye. Yeah.